got to go to Nashville back before Nashville is what it is now. What was it like, working in Nashville for the Tennessean? What was that, probably early, well, I guess kind of early 90s, late 80s?
That was 94. So
94.
I got hired in 94. It was, I was a fish out of water in a lot of ways. I really was. I was like this New York guy, and I was like, I'm never going to like country music, and I'm just going to, no, I'm here to work. And I love country music now, like love country music. So that did that. It was a great town. I go back now. I'm not saying it's a bad town now, but I don't really recognize it. It has a lot more Las Vegas in it than it did back then. And back in the day, you actually, walking around Nashville, would see country artists from Nashville playing in little clubs just trying to make it. You actually saw people with their guitars and the case open asking for money playing on a sidewalk, and it had an authenticity that the town severely lacks now. I mean, it's a great place. It's still a cool town, but it's not as authentic as it was. And I was I had a million jobs there. I was a food and fashion writer. I was a music writer. I was a sports writer. I was a cops writer. I screwed up over and over again. I was young and cocky and stupid and dumb and not very good. But it was it's a great place to live. It really is.
Yeah, no, I got to visit it back kind of in the early to mid 2000s and still go back there. I'm probably there for work 2 or 3 times a year, easy now, but it has definitely changed. But it's a vibrant place. I did have to say I kind of cracked up when I saw that your first assignment was food and fashion. Not to say you don't enjoy food, Jeff, but I wouldn't have put you on the fashion. No offense. Nothing.
It was the worst job ever. It was the only job they had open. I mean, it was cool.
Yeah.
I can't dress. I can't cook. I didn't know anything about anything. I made one mistake after another. I was way out of my depth. And the minute I finally eventually got the very highly coveted high school wrestling beat and started covering high school wrestling, that's when my career, when I kind of found my footing. Because it was the one thing I was okay at in Nashville.
The highly coveted high school wrestling assignment. I love it. That's hilarious. And then after that, you get the opportunity with SI. Is that what kind of comes up next career wise?
Yeah, I went to Sports Illustrated in '96. When I was a kid, that was my dream. That was always my dream. And when I was in junior high, I remind my mom this sometimes, but I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to write for Sports Illustrated. And she's like, you have to be realistic. You have to be realistic. And I was like, I'm telling you, I'm going to write for Sports Illustrated. And I just knew it. It was like, it wasn't just a goal. It felt like this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I really want to do. So I just busted my ass and worked really hard. And I wound up being a baseball writer there for a bunch of years.
Well, and to go back for the listeners too, I mean, that's why you take a job in Nashville where you're not comfortable. You don't know shit. You take all these different assignments, just one, to get reps, one, to get your foot in the door, because you had said, I'm going to fucking get there regardless of what I got to do. And then boom, next thing you know, you step in and go. And what was that like? Like the first day you walk in SI, it has to be this, man, I made it feeling, but there has to be this whole a little bit of trepidation too, right?
I think for me, it wouldn't be any different than your first day playing for the Yankees. I'd grown up idolizing the writers, idolizing the magazine. No one in my family cared about sports except for me. So we didn't even subscribe to SI. And I would run to the library. The library was a mile from my house. I would run to the library, sit there, read Sports Illustrated, read old Sports Illustrated, dig through old magazines. I knew all the names of the writers. I could tell you who was on the cover on certain dates. I was obsessed with Sports Illustrated the way a young shortstop might be with the New York Yankees.
Yep.
So when I finally got hired there and I walked in and you see the names and you're talking to these writers you idolized. I mean, I'm still at 52 years old in awe of those writers. They're still my heroes and they're still gods to me. And if a writer might know my name, I'm always like, oh my God, he knows my name. Or if a writer might know something I wrote, oh my God, he knows who I am. I'm still that little kid when it comes to SI.
Guys, thanks so much for watching the clips. If you would like, please subscribe. Also, if you'd like more clips like this, click here. Or if you'd like to enjoy this whole episode, click here.